game's intro once again. Did we get anything new here? Yeah, as soon as we stop performing horizontal gymnastics with Malia, our nightmares come back. Either that or we're not sleeping with Malia at all. Day 6. And then the night became as day. I glimpsed nature's reddest claw. A face of fear looked back at me as I gazed into the moor. Speaking of gazing into things, has someone been in our bookstore overnight? We'll find out from Grace in just a moment. I'll take that as a yes. This is so messed up.
What is it? What's wrong?
Gabriel!
I see it, Grace. Hold on. There's no one in the shop, and I know there's no one in the back. It's okay.
Okay? Gabriel, that thing is still barely alive. How could someone do this?
With a knife, maybe?
Oh God, don't even start. We should call the police.
No, I'll take care of it.
But Gabriel?
I said I'll take care of it. Why don't you go get some coffee? I'll have it all cleaned up before you get back.
They know where you live now.
Shh, it's gonna be fine. Now go on. Are you sure you don't want to go home? I could close the shop today.
No, I'd rather keep busy. I'll be fine. At least that creepy guy is gone. Not that they aren't still watching. Anyway, speaking of keeping busy, we got that book you ordered in this morning. The one on Rada drums.
Really? Great.
Gabriel!
I see it. Stay back.
Special delivery, it seems.
No comment needed, narrator. I've got to ask Gabriel, how on earth did he get the blood out of that rug? Asking for a friend.
It's just an envelope.
I can see that.
But it's very freaky after the events of this morning. But I think we know who it's from.
Gabriel eyes the surreptitiously delivered envelope. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about it.
Let's open it up.
Gabriel opens the envelope and finds a note from Mosley and a small brass key. Mosley's note says,
Gabe, I have to go underground with this thing. It runs wide and deep throughout the department and the city board. I'm already being watched. It was suggested that I take vacation time, so I am, at least as far as they know. Try to keep out of this. It's too hot for a rookie. Just in case, I'm sending you my office key. You might find some useful things there. P.S. I think this note will look great in the book, don't you? Make sure you save it.
the note is signed by Mosley.
Can do. Alright, so we have his office key.
The key is from Mosley. The key has property of Nolan's police department stamped on it. Right. Not anymore.
That's alright. I'm sure once all is said and done, we'll give it back to him.
It's a note from Mosley.
The Rada book.
Grace actually managed to find a book under Rada drum code. The book contains several pages of Rada drum codes.
Which we'll be using very, very shortly. Grace, how are you feeling?
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
I can ask you about these again, okay?
What do you know about voodoo?
I know more than I ever cared to. I wish you'd never messed with this voodoo stuff in the first place.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I know you shouldn't be messing with it, and I know you will anyway.
Are you okay?
I'd be peachy if you'd give up all this voodoo crap, Gabriel.
I'm sorry I got you involved in this, Grace.
Don't worry about me, just get yourself out of this mess.
She speaks wisdom. Listen to her. I suppose I can show you this letter, just to put your mind at ease.
That doesn't seem to work that way.
No. Alright, today's newspaper. St. John's Eve.
Times dated June 23rd, 1993. Gabriel finds an article about St. John's Eve. It discusses the day's Catholic roots and its adoption by voodoo devotees. In the early to mid-1800s, St. John's Eve was celebrated with elaborate voodoo gatherings at Lake Pontchartrain, Bayou St. John, and other sites outside the city. These days, the day is commemorated commercially in some of the local shops, and a few churches still hold a St. John's Eve Mass. Despite his better judgment, Gabriel reads his horoscope. Today you will either die, or your life will change forever.
Sure, why not? It is St. John's Eve. They'll be out tonight for sure. But where?
That seems unnecessarily harsh. Either die or your life will change forever. I mean, come on. Wednesday, June 23rd, 1993, the roots of St. John's Eve. Tonight is St. John's Eve, a traditional folk holiday in New Orleans. It originated with the Catholic Church. June 24th is the feast day of St. John the Baptist. It also corresponds to Midsummer Solstice. Voodoo practitioners adopted the holiday and in the early to mid-1800s and celebrated the night before. That's a very weird sentence. I'm having a lot of trouble reading that. And celebrated the night before, St. John's Eve, with elaborate voodoo gatherings at Lake Pontchartrain, Bayou St. John, and other sites outside the city. Today, the day is commemorated commercially in some of the local shops, and a few churches still hold a St. John's Eve Mass. Am I reading this correctly? Voodoo practitioners adopted the holiday and in the early to mid-1800s and celebrated the night before. I don't know how to parse that sentence. That is breaking my brain. Okay. Day 6. We've just got the Rada book, so let's use that first.
I'm going out for a bit.
Be careful.
Let's go here first.
It's one of the Rada drummers. They transmit coded messages through the quarter for the voodoo cartel.
You know, I know who you are.
The drummer ignores Gabriel and just continues drumming. Unnerving, isn't he?
I've got to imagine that if I pulled out a book here and just listened to him and tried translating this, he would notice and he'd either stop or transmit something else.
Gabriel listens carefully to the drum and opens his Rada book to translate.
Okay, so 3 lows, 3 middles, and 3 highs. So that really hasn't changed all that much. Although the order of the pages most definitely has changed. What do we have? 3 highs. It's, yep, Call Conclave. It would shock me if the message is different. Oh wow, it stopped there. Okay. I would have expected that to keep going just to try and confuse me, but no. So, Call Conclave tonight. And then the middle one is... Yep, that one there. In the audio of the first game, the background audio, it actually said C. It had 2 highs there instead of 2 lows. But this has not changed. Call Conclave tonight, Swamp.
If Gabriel's translation of the drum code is correct...
There'll be a conclave tonight in the swamp. That must be the bayou.
Don't say that out loud, Gabriel. Okay, what next? Mosley's office, perhaps? Brash is gone.
Rows of pews... Someone is in... Someone...
Yeah, let's go see Mosley. Well, we know he's not there, but let's go there anyway. This drummer, can I do anything with you?
That can't be good.
That line is just straight up missing. That's interesting, we don't get the interact here.
I guess your parents probably told you not to talk to strangers, huh?
Smart parents.
Sure enough, the girls are not talking to Gabriel.
Also, wait, I'm sorry. This car wasn't here, and I noticed something's very, very wrong with its exhaust. What the hell is going on here?
An abandoned car sits in front of the police station. 1 tire removed.
This is the last place where you'd find an abandoned car.
Gabriel doesn't know how to hotwire a car, and if he did, he wouldn't want that one.
Look at the exhaust, Gabriel. Or hell, look in the booze.
Oh, God. That's awful.
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was. But it's still pretty bad. Let me hit space. We have a dead crow and we have a tire iron.
I get the feeling this tire iron wasn't just used to take off that tire.
Yeah.
That dead bird doesn't look like an accident. A warning?
A warning to Mosley, perhaps?
Not a chance in hell.
Agree.
It might come in handy.
Alright, so we have a very bloody tire iron.
1 tire iron, slightly used.
That's one way to describe it. I can't zoom in on it. Can I really not translate what this guy is drumming? I cannot. Okay.
An abandoned car sits in front of the police station. 1 tire removed.
This makes no sense. There could be explosives in that car or something.
Gabriel doesn't know how to hotwire a car, and if he did, he wouldn't want that one.
Okay. Let's take a look inside.
You got no business back there now. Move along.
Got a forklift?
Not that.
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
We don't have a Detective Mosley here.
What? I've seen him here all week.
Listen to what I'm saying. We don't have a Detective Mosley on the force.
Yeah, I interpret that as we fired him.
About Detective Mosley.
I told you there's no Mosley here. Now get lost.
I think we should talk about what's going on around here, Officer Frick.
I don't want to hear it, Mr. Knight. Now do yourself a favor and keep your nose out of here.
Is he on our side or not?
I think we should talk about what's going
I don't want to hear it.
What about you?
Hey.
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 Officer, can I ask you some questions?
Desk sergeant's right over there.
Hey.
Hey.
Damn it. I was literally just about to ask if you were going to say anything different.
Frick's not gonna let me back there. I'll have to find another way to get into Mosley's office.
Right, so in the OG we had to distract him with something that was happening outside. I don't think we have that option this time. Frick, I found a weapon outside. You want it?
He doesn't seem interested in that.
No. Let's take a look at the alley. This is different.
That window leads to Mosley's office.
I don't suppose I can use that window?
It's stuck. I need a tool of some kind.
Alright, well I don't suppose a tire iron would assist with that?
Alright, I'm going in.
That's just a little bit too easy, game. Putting it directly outside like that. Streamlined? Yes. Easy? Also yes. That music is very ominous. Okay, I don't believe there's anything we need here other than what's in there.
Whatever goes into those files never comes out. Mosley's desk has more growing on it than his head.
I see the lock there. I need the key for that, I guess.
It's locked.
What is this spooky ass music? A tracking device. And a half-eaten donut. Oh boy. That's bad. Not even once. Fence. A very nice looking pen. Handcuffs. Men's hair guild. For a kiss. Let's pick up the tracker, which possibly is still made in Japan.
There's a tracking device in the drawer.
This tracker might come in handy.
Along with the two modules.
It's a signal device for the tracker. That's not the way it works. Gabriel has to leave the signal device somewhere and the tracker part will locate it. This device is called a tracker. Gabriel remembers a time when he and Mosley used it illegally with a couple of babes in a white convertible. It operates as follows. The signal device attaches to an object such as a car. The signal device emits a signal that appears on the tracker LED, allowing the object to be tracked.
Yeah, this day, day 6, is dedicated to this one puzzle. Uh-oh. What the hell is this? They look possessed.
What the hell was that?
I agree, that was not in the OG.
I'm not going back in there.
I don't blame you. I don't want to believe that every single person in the police department is a cult member, but it was either that or they were temporarily possessed by the ladies outside, perhaps. That was cool, that was freaky as shit. Let me go over here and have a drink. I think I need it after that. Alright, so we have no reason to ever go back to the police station.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Sure, I'm not too busy at the moment.
We talk about what just happened? Of course not. Can I get some alcohol?
What do I need with a table? What do I need with it?
God damn it. Alright, so let's go to the cemetery very quickly because I want to see if I can get that second message. Assuming, of course, there is a second message. Is there? What am I doing? That.
A new series of crosses is on the wall.
Yeah, okay. I see it's different. Although I still think that first, or that third letter rather, is a C instead of a K, but let's use the notebook on that. If indeed I can find the notebook. I'm carrying too much stuff.
Let me get these new marks down. I should check this against the code Madame Moonbeam translated for me. Maybe I can figure out what this new message says.
Well, it's the correct number of characters to match the OG, but I'm not going to do that. Let me go have a chat to Magentia Moonbeam. She can tell me.
A sign on the front door of Magenta's home reads, attending a channeling seminar until August 1st.
Right, but you said when we spoke to you last time that your clients are very dependent on you. How can they be dependent on you if you're not open half of the time? And by that I mean, I assume it's still a 10-day game and you're only open for one of those 10 days. Oh my god. Dr. John. Help me, please.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
How's that snake doing?
Do you know of anything interesting going on this evening?
You mean St. John's Eve? Mr. Knight, I know of nothing that you would find amusing.
That is not what I asked.
Could I ask you some more questions?
No.
Oof.
Could I ask you some more questions?
No.
Okay, well, let's combine these.
It's Gabriel's sketch of the new series of crosses from the Laveau tomb wall. Looking at the series of crosses, Gabriel can't help but think they have a pattern and meaning he is not comprehending.
Combine that with that.
Gabriel checks the two messages for duplicate symbols and transfers the letters from the matches to the new message. He finds that he has the translation for all of the symbols except for 3. Gabriel sketched a new series of crosses from the Laveau tomb and added what letters he could match from Moonbeam's translations. Gabriel gazes at the translation of the second voodoo code message. A few letters are still missing.
Yeah, DJ, keep eyes on GK, but do not harm. Who wrote this? I want to say maybe the police chief? Who else do we know? I mean, there's one other character I can think of, but I'm not going to say their name. What do you think about this, Dr. John?
Does this mean anything to you?
I cannot see that it does.
What about these scales?
Does this mean anything to you?
I cannot see that it does.
I think the OG said, do you really think that's a good idea? As in the narrator said that to us. Can I show you anything else that would unnerve you?
Hartridge died getting that information. Gabriel doesn't want to endanger anyone else.
That's fair.
Does this mean anything to you?
I can't.
What else do I have? Tattoo? That does something.
Do you recognize this snake figure?
How curious. Where did you find it?
Oh, just lying around.
That's a yes.
I would throw it away if I were you.
Why is that?
It looks like trouble to me, Mr. Knight.
I need to go back to St. George's books and do something with that.
Does this mean anything to you?
I cannot see that it does.
That should, unless it predates you.
Does this newspaper clipping mean anything to you?
It looks like ancient history to me.
I suppose. Thanks.
The Veve?
Does this pattern look familiar to you?
Where did you get that?
You do recognize it then?
I have never seen it before in my life.
Are you sure about this pattern?
I am sure, Mr. Knight.
He's lying through his teeth.
Does this pattern look...
Where did you...
You do... Are you sure?
I am
Anything else? Maybe the photo? All the way over here?
Could you look at this and tell me if you recognize anything about the ritual?
Anything at all?
This is truly offensive. This is from one of those recent killings, is it not?
Well, actually...
But the police already know that this so-called voodoo ritual is fake. Voodoo is a respectable religion. This kind of thing has nothing to do with voodoo in the city.
Fine, let's say that's true. Are you sure there's nothing about the items in this photo?
There is nothing about this sickness that I would identify as voodoo. Nothing.
Thanks for looking, then. Are you sure you don't recognize anything about the ritual in this photo?
I told you, sir. That has nothing to do with voodoo.
Right. Sorry.
Okay, well, we know DJ is you. You're in the notes. I need to plant one of these signal devices.
Gabriel can't see a way to use that. That doesn't seem to work that way.
I would think maybe we can plant it inside there, but it's going to be easier to hide it inside the coffin.
Given the man's size, that doesn't seem advisable.
Just hide it in his jacket or something, perhaps. Alright, let's put it in here.
The voodoo shrine is filled with items that both fascinate Gabriel and also make his skin crawl.
Professor Hartridge called this a Sake Madule.
Gabriel slips the signal device into the Sake Madule.
That sound effect.
Can I assist you, Mr. Knight?
No, just looking.
Now if only they take the coffin to the ritual.
We can do that. Can we hear the drummer?
Gabriel can't hear the street drummer very clearly in this location.
Damn it.
A street drummer has settled outside the museum. Gabriel can't do anything with the drummer on the street.
Alright, so let's get out of here, and I think Dr. John's going to close the place up.
I hate to rush you, Mr. Knight, but I am afraid I must close the museum early this evening. This is St. John's Eve, and it's getting on towards dusk. I have things I must do.
I see. No problem. I'll just,
Leave. Goodbye, Mr. Knight. May the spirits guard you well tonight.
And I don't think we'll be speaking to him for quite some time. Alright, Grace, I need your help, please.
Hello, beautiful. It's me.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
Absolutely, Grace. Absolutely. Let's have a chat, but I think I just need to show you the tattoo.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
And yeah, we did hear this from Crash, that if we don't have the symbol, they won't let us get close. But my immediate thought is it's probably referring to the bracelet. But no, we actually need a tattoo to get close. That's rough.
Will you do me a favor?
What?
Use your paints to copy this snake tattoo onto my chest.
Now why on earth would you want me to do that?
It's basically just a way of inserting a death and then going, yeah, okay, go back and do this. What am I doing? Wards Off Evil, costume party to bring us closer, secret research. We're going to a costume party, Grace.
I'm going to a party tonight. Costume, you know.
You don't say. I guess you're going with Malia.
Yeah. That's right.
And why should I help you out when I don't even like Malia?
I kind of want to say stop feeling inferior, but I'm pretty sure the answer is jealousy.
Well, if you're jealous about my feelings for her...
You know that's not it. I just think, as your friend, that she's trouble.
It's perfectly understandable. I know that you have certain feelings for me, quite naturally.
Me? I would rather be hung by my hair over a bed of scorpions.
I know it must be hard having it in your face like this. No chance to avoid hearing about it, seeing it day by day.
Fine, I'll do it. Just shut up. Can we at least go in the back?
Sure, but could you say that one more time and pout your lips more?
Ugh.
What'd I say?
There's no need for that, Gabriel. Come on. Cutscene.
All right, let's go. The shirt, please.
You don't know how long I've been waiting for this moment.
Now. Hold still.
Maybe you'd like to tie me up.
One more remark and I'm leaving.
Okay, okay.
Just let her do her work. No comments on that trip.
Done. It's just stunning.
Impressive.
Sorry I couldn't make it last longer.
Well, it was about what I expected from you.
That curl of the lip. Alright, so hopefully we won't die immediately tonight. Thank you for doing that, Grace.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
I'm sorry about all that stuff I said just before us. Alright, so the last step here is we need to ensure that the coffin is taken to the ritual. Or the gathering or the conclave.
I'm going out for a bit.
Be careful.
But you've got to imagine as she was doing her work, she's thinking, yeah, this guy's going to get himself killed tonight. And that spurs her to follow us. There's the Bayou St. I'm not going there, we're going to the cemetery first. Okay, can we leave a message of our own, please? I need him to leave first.
Gabriel should at least wait until the watchman is gone before defacing the tomb.
And spoilers, we might need to deface it multiple times if I can't figure out what I'm doing. I'm still salty about the OG because I definitely got it correct once, but in that attempt I deleted a character or two or multiple, and then I made it correct, and the game didn't accept it. I went back and screenshotted my video in 2 places, compared the 2, and they were identical, so I really don't understand why I had so many problems doing it on the OG. It seemed like a bug. Alright, let's just watch this guy rake the leaves, rake the grass. Alright, he's done. Love that animation.
Gabriel should at
Yeah, he's gone. Actually, is he gone? Yes, he's gone. Unlike Malia Getty, he's actually gone.
I think I'll leave a message of my own.
Nice animation. Tutorial. Select the top right corner of the translated codes page and something something something. I couldn't read it that fast. Thank you, game. So we can switch between the messages by clicking that. Never mind. How do I erase that?
Sensing that his message isn't quite right, Gabriel rubs it off in frustration.
That's what she said. Alright, so let's say DJ Conclave tonight. Hopefully I have enough room. I should do. Ring. Right. S. E. K. E. That looks correct. Eyes. Y. Do not harm. M. A. D. O. But. U. I don't have an L here, so I need to go back. Conclave. L. E.
Pleased with his message, Gabriel tosses the brick down. Now if only DJ reads it in time.
Much better. Bit of a break in the recording there because I had to look at something. Tomb wall.
Gabriel's coded messages on the wall.
It looks much more dank than the message that was there previously.
Gabriel can't take anything from the tomb wall that way. The wall doesn't work that way.
Okay, I think that's all we need to do. I think we can now go and attend this ritual, or this conclave. Hopefully I've not missed anything. New location.
The dirt patch provides parking for visitors to the bayou.
Alright, there's no one here.
The dirt patch provides parking for visitors to the bayou.
No one at all. We should just go home.
The sign helpfully tells visitors that this is St. John's Bayou. If Gabriel took the sign, how would the tourists find the bayou?
Then again, that might not be such a bad thing.
True, but honestly, even if the sign wasn't here, I think you'd be able to figure it out.
Bayou St. John seems denser, thicker, darker than Gabriel remembers it. In the twilight of the heavy growth, everything looks the same.
So he's been here before. Maybe as a kid. Alright, the tracker.
This device is called... It operates...
It doesn't say anything about it being made in Japan this time.
Gabriel pulls out the tracking device, hoping that the Sakei Madeleine made it to the ritual and that this thing will work.
All right, there's a blip. They must be here with the Seke Madule.
Very fancy game, very fancy.
This device is called... It operates...
Damn it. I just want to see the made in Japan thing, please.
Gabriel pulls out the track...
All right, there's...
Yeah, we know. Alright, let's go inside.
Damn Mosley and his infernal machine. This better be working.
Lots of question marks around the place.
Bayou St. John seems denser.
Once again, these just look like photographs.
Bayou...
It looks gorgeous, but it looks terrifying.
The entrance to the clearing is marked with voodoo skulls. At last.
So the drums definitely got louder as we approached, but if you go back and look at the tracker, it looks like the blip wasn't getting any closer.
Bayou St. John.
Seeing that? Enter voodoo ceremony. We can't look at it. Alright, so I've not died yet, so you know what? Let's die at least once. How bad is this? Oh, it's a cutscene. We get to die in a cutscene.
You. What are you doing here?
I was just taking a walk and,
No excuses this time, my friend.
I really don't want to be dead. Can we try that again?
We die in a cutscene. I was not expecting that, and this is very funny. Resurrection Special, $50. No refunds if your loved one attempts to eat you. That's much better than the skull in my opinion. Alright, let me restore the game. I was not expecting a cutscene in here. I mean, there were cutscenes in the OG, but we definitely got like a standard 2D scene when we went in there. I can't use my words at the moment. And I think we still will, because we're going to get questioned about Damballa and Ogun Badagri perhaps. I said gonna, and then I said perhaps. Oh boy.
When in Rome. Here goes nothing.
Looking good there, Gabriel. Wow. Once again, cutscene.
Welcome, Brother Crocodile. Please join the other celebrants.
Yes, Dr. John, Brother Eagle.
But first, name the great serpent who crushes all in his coils.
If I wait too long, does something happen? Because I can't imagine this can go indefinitely. It's going to either pause here and stop, or he's going to interrupt us and say, why are you not answering?
I'm not quite sure.
You are no believer. You must die for violating our sacred circle.
I really don't want to be dead. Can we try that again?
We can. He doesn't even recognize us as Gabriel Knight. He just says you're a fuck. Let me load that. He just says we're a non-believer.
I really don't want to be dead. Can we try that again?
One moment, Gabriel. I was not expecting a multiple choice in the cutscene. So we're not going to see the full ceremony in a standard screen.
When in Rome.
Like the original and like we just saw a moment ago.
Here goes nothing.
Name the great serpent who crushes all in his coils.
That will be Damballa, sir.
Damballa.
You are correct, Brother Crocodile. Who is the destroyer of men?
I would love to say Buddha.
Ogun Badagri.
You are correct, Brother Crocodile. Enjoy yourself well tonight.
But you told me you didn't know anything, Dr. John. What gives? Were you lying? Fucking charming. Same. He blows something in our face, and we take the mask off. That's a cool image. Why does he take her mask off?
Gabriel!
Malia?
I know you now. I can smell his blood in your veins.
No!
You cannot change your destiny or ours.
No!
I will find you. I will destroy you.
No!
Where is your necklace now, witch hunter? Where are your pretty, pretty gems?
I still don't get why he takes her mask off. Save us, Grace. Save us from that nightmare. It's a really cool scene. Even though we don't get to see it in a standard 2D window, I think that was very well done. Especially the drums. Day 7. My last ally laid to waste. I ran towards the light. I prayed for one to change my path, to give me strength to fight. Grace stayed the night.
Gabriel! Gabriel, wake up!
Ow, my head.
He's still got the tattoo.
It's about time. I've been trying to wake you up for hours. There's no time to lose.
I had another dream.
It wasn't a dream, believe me. Now come on, get dressed.
Wait a minute. I'm starting to remember. Something about Malia.
She's the head priestess of the Voodoo Cartel. They're responsible for the murders. They've been doing it for years.
Malia? Last night. She was the leopard. Like in my dreams, Grace.
I know, those dreams were a warning. Now come on, get dressed.
But last night, Malia changed. She became something else. And then I blacked out, I think. How did I get home?
I followed you last night. I knew you were gonna try to sneak into a ceremony. Lucky for you that I did. If you'd been left at that circle last night, I don't know what she would have done to you.
You're wrong. Malia wouldn't hurt me.
What about Tetelo?
Tetelo. They were chanting that last night. That's the name from Gunther's journal, the woman who took the talisman.
Yes, Gabriel, it's your destiny you're facing. You can't just blunder your way through this or you'll end up dead. You have to call your great-uncle in Germany. He knows more about this than we do.
Okay, I'll call him. But Malia isn't responsible for those things, Grace. It's that spirit, that Loa. It's Tetelo.
Yeah, possession is convenient that way. Call Wolfgang, Gabriel. I'll be in the shop.
You can't really say that she has nothing to do with it when she's willingly doing this. Alright, so I think I have enough time on this video to call Wolfgang, get a read on the situation, and have a chat to Grace outside.
Guten Tag, Sie haben Schloss Ritter erreicht.
This is Gabriel Knight. Can I speak to Wolfgang, please?
Ja, Herr Knight. Einen Moment bitte.
Gabriel, it's so good to hear your voice. I had such a dream last night.
There's a good reason for that, Uncle Wolfgang. We need to talk.
Gabriel fills in Wolfgang on the events of the previous evening.
It's even worse than I thought.
We have to talk about what I should do.
Once again, we get this silhouette. Very cool. Alright, hopefully this doesn't take too long. I think we're going to get a lot of I don't know about that responses.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My library contains many books on the occult and religions, and I have read about some particularly evil voodoo cults. But you, at this point, have more direct experience than I.
That voice filter, though.
What can you tell?
It sounds as though you have learned much during your investigation in New Orleans. Perhaps you will fill me in when we have a chance to sit down and talk.
Absolutely. Hopefully nothing horrible happens to you before we can sit down and talk.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I only know what you have told me. They seem to be very similar to the killings in Gunther's journal.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
It was just another American city to me until I started dreaming about you. Now I feel it's not safe for you there. I wish you would leave.
You don't say.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I have not studied the subject. I have an intense dislike for them.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I'm afraid I've never heard of it.
Do you know what Cabri Sanko means?
No? What does it mean?
It means goat without horns. It's a term used for human sacrifice in voodoo.
Well, let's hope we can avoid any more of that in this family.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
No, I'm afraid not.
I've heard rumors of a secret Houndfall here in New Orleans.
Yeah, I am sure they have a temple there. Would probably a very elaborate one. You should not go near it, though. Not alone.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Yeah, Teteros people wear animal masks for their rituals, don't they? It is not at all uncommon. Many occult groups are based heavily on animal totems. Animals have such pure, primal traits. Spirituality, good or bad, is about reaching these pure levels. Aggressive and cunning like the snake. Agile and nurturing like the monkey. Even our family is associated with the image of a lion.
Wolfgang says it's not uncommon, and yet Dr. John said that all but the oldest sects have abandoned that practice. Someone's lying, and I don't think it's Wolfgang.
Do you know anything about Veves?
It is a visual symbol of one or more Loa. Each Loa has its own sign, which is used to summon it.
Again, Dr. John should have known that.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Damballa is a snake. He is a Loa, a voodoo god.
Yes, he's one of the primary Loa of the Getty tribe.
Ah, I see. Good work. That information might prove useful.
Does Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
It is a voodoo Loa, is it not?
Yes, a particularly nasty one, so I understand. Have you come across anything about it in your research?
He seems to be feared by most voodoo groups. That's all I know.
You should know the most about Ogun Badagri though, because he was the one who set the Getty tribe on their path.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
My library contains many books on the occult and religions, and I have read about some particularly evil voodoo cults. But you, at this point, have more direct experience than I.
Alright, let's hear it.
What can you tell me about Schottenjägers?
Of course, I sometimes forget how little you know of the family, Gabriel. I never understood how Heinz could allow his sons to remain ignorant. But now is not the time for that discussion. Schottenjäger is really two words in English, Gabriel. Schotten means shadow, and Jäger means hunter.
Shadow Hunter?
Yes, Shadow Hunter. We Ritters have been Schottenjägers for many centuries. No one is sure when it began or how, but we have records of ancestors as early as the 13th century fulfilling this role. Some believe that the role was given us when... but such fantasies cannot be of use to you at the moment, Gabriel. Most people are completely blind to the fact that evil does exist. Shadows of darkness, spirits, vampires, witches, demons, these things are real. It is to their advantage that the world has become so scientific, so cynical. But we know they exist, Gabriel, and we hunt them.
How do we hunt them? And why?
Why? Because it is our duty. As for how, that is something you will have to learn, but it's not easily explained over the phone.
Once again, hopefully you can explain this to us before something terrible happens to you.
Do you know anything about Rada drums?
Rada drums? You mean ceremonial drums?
Yes. The Getty tribe uses drummers around the quarter as relay messengers to keep track of their business.
Ah, so drums have a ceremonial use too. It would be useful to know their code, Gabriel.
I had Grace find some information on them.
I can see you already have the mind of an investigator. I hope it serves you well.
Maybe for the sequel.
Tell me about yourself.
I hope there will be time for that later, Gabriel, after this is all over. For now, we must deal with the matter at hand.
Alright, tell me about Tesselo, please. About Gunther.
Tell me about Tetelo.
Well, from your description of the ritual last night, I'd say that Gunther's mistress, Tetelo, is now the primary Loa for the Getty tribe. It seems she still controls them by possessing her female descendants and speaking through them. You remember in Gunther's journal he said that Tetelo was possessed by her father's Loa during the killings in Charleston. This sounds similar, but Tetelo has obviously become a much more powerful Loa than her father ever was. Probably because of the added power of the talisman.
We need that thing back.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Tetelo?
I believe she truly loved Gunther. After all, she was raised to be her father's daughter. The religion was not a choice she made, but a duty she endured. How can she be blamed for that? The spirit that she has become, that is a different matter. It is utterly evil. I am certain that the Loa Tetelo bears little resemblance to the woman she was before the burning in Charleston. She was once a beautiful and intelligent woman, and she probably did not deserve Gunther's betrayal. But the Tetelo we fight now is more akin to her tribe's dark gods than to anything human in nature.
Let's talk about the talisman.
I myself have only seen it in old sketches and paintings, and in my dreams. It was in the family for centuries before Tetelo took it. It is believed to be as old as the role of Schottenjäger itself. The talisman has genuine power. I don't know how or why, but it is so. The Schottenjäger swore to use the power for good, never for evil, for defense, not offense. We've been searching for the talisman for years. It's a terrible thing to know that something powerful that was entrusted to us is in the wrong hands. With the talisman, Tetelo has all the power and we none. The only possible way to fight her is to regain the talisman. Then we will at least be on more equal footing.
I would love to know who bequeathed the talisman upon us.
How can we regain the talisman?
The talisman is probably buried with Tetelo's remains. That's what gives her Loa so much power. To find the talisman, we must find her remains.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the talisman?
The most important thing about the talisman is that it be once again in the hands of the Schottenjägers.
Alright, last subject.
How would we find Tetelo's remains?
We have pondered that question a long time, we Ritters. There are two probabilities. The first is that her remains are with the tribe in New Orleans. The other is that the remains were returned to a sacred place near the tribe's original homeland. We've tried to locate Tetelo's African homeland, but Gunther says so little in his journal about her tribe, and slaving records are practically non-existent. As for the other idea, we had no clue that Tetelo's people were in New Orleans until now.
Right, but we've got information from Hartridge that's something Benin.
How would we find Tetelo's remains again?
We must locate the tribe's original African homeland. Her remains might be there, or they might be in New Orleans, buried among her descendants.
In the cemetery. I thought we were done, but no. We've got one more.
Let's discuss the possible African homeland.
All right. Have you learned anything that might help us locate it?
I spoke with Professor Hartridge. Unfortunately for him, he thinks the tribe's name was Agri, and that they live near the Fawn tribe in what's now called the People's Republic of Benin.
This is incredible, Gabriel. I must go research this new information in my library right now.
Wait, what should I do?
Lay low.
Stay low. If you get a chance, you might look into the possibility that Tetelo's remains are somewhere in New Orleans. But don't try to broach their private areas without my assistance, Gabriel. You will make a fine Schottenjäger, but only if you are not dead.
Sure. I'll wait.
Goodbye then, Gabriel. And remember, if you need a place of safety, come to Schloss Ritter.
It's alright, dude. I have not agreed to any of this yet. Alright, just looking at the time. Let's quickly go out here, have a chat to Grace, check out the newspaper, and then we'll go outside.
Times dated June 24th, 1993. There's nothing about the voodoo murder case in the paper today. Gabriel finds a humorous tidbit under the Life is Stranger Than Fiction column. Apparently, there were reports of ghosts in the Bayou St. John last night. Various people called the newspaper with stories about hearing strange noises and seeing weird lights over the swamp. Some folks claim it's a ghost of Marie Laveau. The paper relates it to similar delusions that crop up every Halloween. Gabriel knows better. Gabriel's horoscope today reads, "Wise is the warrior who knows when to fight and when to get the hell out of Dodge."
God help me, I'm actually starting to listen to this guy.
That's alright, we're broke, we can't leave yet. There's no quotes around here. Notice that. Life is stranger than fiction. New Orleans is full of ghost stories. Its residents, good use of the apostrophe, can be forgiven for having a fertile imagination stoked by the Louisiana heat. Is that how you spell Louisiana? I thought there was an additional I there. Could be entirely wrong. The gumbo and the dark starry nights. But even for Nola, last night was a doozy. The New Orleans Times reported a dozen phone calls claiming there were ghosts in the Bayou St. John. People reported strange noises and weird lights over the swamp. Some folks claim it was the ghost of Marie Laveau. In other, colder cities, mass hysteria, there's one too many commas there, mass hysteria tends to crop up on Halloween. Here, our spirits walk on St. John's Eve. I feel the copy of this, or the editing on this newspaper, is not great. It's like my videos. It's not great at all. Got anything, Grace?
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Can we talk to you at all?
Grace, about last night.
I've already said everything I have to say about that.
Are you okay?
I'd be peachy if you'd give up all this voodoo crap, Gabriel.
I'm sorry I got you involved in this, Grace.
Don't worry about me, just get yourself out of this mess.
I think that's as much of an apology or a thank you as you're going to get, Grace.
Got any ideas, Grace?
Yeah, get out of town.
You're so helpful.
Indeed. I think that will do it for this video. Next time, we'll take a look at the cemetery and check out the Getty tomb.
I'm going out for a bit.
Be careful.